from Soilwork. I think that was 2003 and mixed by Devin Townsend, who's certainly lingering in the background on many of the tracks there, doing some vocals and everything else there too. So love that record. Follow the Holo there was chosen by Mr. Anders Bjorler from At the Gates, currently in the studio with us here at andrewhaug.com. I hope you are enjoying the station. Of course, as I said earlier on, it is a test stream, and we are very, very close to launching this whole thing officially, which will feature live programs just like this one, where we get to talk to heavy metal greats like Mr. Bjorler and many other things that are always happening in the rock and metal world. Spread the word, andrewhaug.com. Let's talk a bit about what your next plans are after At the Gates. Actually, how long will this sort of reunion carry on? Will this be like the KISS approach, where we're saying goodbye 8 times and we still continue?
I think we learned from that mistake. We won't say goodbye again, ever.
Yep.
So the main goal here is like play in territories we haven't played. It's that simple. We did South America this summer and Australia. And we do some exceptions, like the Barge to Hell boat. That's just vacation, basically.
Yeah.
Play on a boat. Otherwise, we do maybe a couple of festivals each summer. Maybe 3.
I presume you've definitely been asked by many people, are you going to do a new record? Has that been tempting, considering that the reaction has been pretty damn monstrous for At the Gates the last 2 years?
For me, personally, no.
Yep.
No. I've never had those plans. And I guess some of the other guys maybe wants to, but certainly not me.
Yeah.
Because I think it's too much time has passed.
Yep.
It's like maybe 16 years ago or 17. I don't know, since we released Slaughter Soul, and too much time has passed. And
do you find there just be too much expectation on people?
Yeah, too much
expectation.
Sort of... But more personally, I mean, where I'm not at the place where I was back then, and that's pretty. It's not going to sound like a continuation of Slaughter Soul, and that's basically why I don't.
Do you think a lot of bands who do that go wrong in the sense of reforming at least and then doing a studio record with the expectation of trying to capture what they did yesteryear? And having that expectation from the audiences that want what they did from yesteryear, but knowing that they're really not the same people mentally playing those songs anymore, that can always be a sort of a tough thing to do, basically. Like Coroner, one of my favourite bands of all time, they reformed after, 14 years, 15 years? And speaking to the band at Bloodstock Festival in 2011, they have been asked about, doing a studio record, and they're kind of thinking probably not. As much as I want to hear another record, because I love what the band have done all those years. As you know, sometimes things may not be able to be recaptured yet again, because, people change.
Yeah. I mean, it's something with human nature as well. You always kind of seek or want the things you can't have.
Absolutely.
So somehow, and this is the same with the record collection. You're missing out on one CD, and when you got it, it's totally uninteresting.
Yep. Or it lasts
for makes no sense. And the same with, you think you want a new album by Coroner, but maybe you don't. When you hear it,
I do, Mr. Bjorler.
Yeah, but when you hear it, you might be disappointed. So, I mean, the old albums are good, and they are enough, I think.
Good point. Well, let's talk about your solo project now. Obviously, with the Roadkill DVD, you've done a lot of the sort of soundtrack themed sort of background music a lot for some of those documentaries, and also a couple of other band documentaries you've done. So I sense that that's kind of what you're looking at doing for the Anders Bjorler solo project?
Yeah, just for that particular project, yes. I basically continued writing music, even though it wasn't specifically for a project or a movie, stuff like that. So I had a lot of material that was lying around, and I thought, why not do like a piece or an album on this? So
a lot of this stuff is inspired by the fact that you're a monstrous movie fan.
Yeah.
So when did you start to sort of develop an interest in sort of soundtrack music away from metal and think that, hey, I'd like to do something like this on the side? And did you ever think that this would sort of be something that would eventually lead you to the next step in your kind of musical career after the fact of recently leaving The Haunted and soon to finish the At the Gates reunion run?
No, I didn't think too much about it, but now it feels kind of natural because it's music that I really like. So I mean, I grew up. When I grew up as a kid, I liked movies, of course, but it wasn't until I heard like Italian horror films that I really thought, wow. Then I played guitar, so then I know how to make it somehow. And
are you a fan of Goblin?
Yeah, Goblin is one of the favorites. Yeah.
They're actually touring Australia later in the year too. I think they're playing the entire theme for Suspiria.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Movie as well. So now this will just be a one-man sort of project for you.
Yeah, it's zero budget. I do everything back home, but I've come to a level of experience where I know I can do everything I want to do, and that's pretty comfortable in a way, you know.
Now, when you sort of look at putting this out, how will you sort of approach that? Because we all know about the horror story that was Lou Reed and Metallica Lulu, and they used the name, but it was pretty much kind of removed from what they'd done in the past, and everyone expected it to be a little bit similar, and they see the name and hear what it was and just go, what the hell is this? Will this be a different name to the project? Will you put the name Anders Bjorler solo project to it? I mean, how will you approach this stuff without fans going, oh, I want to check out what Anders is up to, X at the gates, and then you just hear all this sort of 70s Italian horror music and just go,
no,
where's the riffs?
I will just call it Anders Bjorler.
Okay.
And then, like a normal name. And then I will be very, very clear in all the interviews and
just tell
online,
them this is just not
all the
metal.
pages. Yeah.
Yep.
Warning. Like
Put a big warning sticker. And what will be the plan?
Yeah, but the plan is to release it on a small independent label, but where you have an option, maybe Spotify, where you can listen to it. So try before buy. That's the best thing today, you know. So you don't have to buy anything. You don't have to be disappointed. You can listen to it first. So but mainly I look for a smaller kind of independent label, because I would feel if it would be released on a metal album, people would get the wrong idea. So
now, away from this project, will you still be playing metal somehow down the track, Mr. Bjorler? Will that riff continue? Will those riffs still continue?
The thing with the Haunted now, I just needed a break from the whole thing. So some odd shows without the gates for the live thing, but just to write metal, and I don't know what the future lies, but that's been so big part of my life, so it's hard to say goodbye. I don't think I could do that, so let's see in a year what happens, you know.
Very, very good. Well, thanks for joining us here on andrewhaug.com.
Thanks.
And, of course, all the best for the rest of the At the Gate shows tonight in Melbourne at Billboards, and for those in Perth at the Capitol tomorrow. And, keep us posted on everything that you're up to here on the program. Of course, we want to spread the word to the masses out there about everything that's happening in the world of heavy metal rockers out there, including yourself. So we're going to end off with a track you've chosen by, of course, one of your favourite bands of all time. Now, is this the band that inspired you to pick up the instrument?
Slayer and Metallica, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to hear Seasons in the Abyss.